Yes, the Druids are coming. Let's break down all of the new Path of Exile 2 content coming in patch 0.4 in the shortest amount of time possible. We are getting Druids, a new class to the game, along with two ascendancy options, the Shaman and the Oracle. With the Druid, you'll be able to transform into a bear, werewolf, and even a wyvern as a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. Design is focused on combos between human spells and animal attacks. Human spells will typically last a significant amount of time to enable those combos as you shapeshift. There will be a new weapon class called Talismans, which will enable shapeshifting. With Bear form, you'll have ultimate abilities that require Rage to use, which pairs well with various warrior skills. Wolf form is more fast and furious, wielding cold attacks focused with companions via Wolf Pack. You can pounce on your enemies, and pounce will allow for linking mark skills. The Wyvern is more long-range focused, with breath abilities, and seems to pair nicely with lightning and fire spells. Your human form is where you cast spells, and there's a new Wet mechanic to allow for easier shocking and freezing. Wet also interacts with plant-based skills. There are also new spell totems, which cost either 3 endurance or 3 power charges, and these spell totems can cast any spell in the game. With these new Druid skills, there are of course new support gems to include Fan the Flames, which interacts with flame and wind skills, and then an Advancing Storm, which changes skills to move across the battlefield, and then Echoing Cry, which will cast spells over again after the initial cast. Many more to come in the patch notes later today. For the Druid Ascendancies, we first have the Shaman, which channels nature and harnesses Rage as a spellcaster. Yes, you can now use Rage, which will channel continuously via one of the ascendancy points and buff your spells. The Shaman can also add extra mods to runes, and then Apocalypse will summon elemental damage all around you after you charge it up. The second ascendancy, the Oracle, brings Foresight, Fateful Vision, and Converging Paths to see futures, which you can use to increase your damage or even gain access to passives that are usually unavailable to you. Speaking of passives, there are now 130 new extra passives in the Druid section of the passive tree. With 0.4, we are getting a new league, Fate of the Vaal, where you travel back in past into a temple mechanic and try to save the Vaal. Remnants of the Vaal affect monsters that you must kill in proximity to activate 5 remnants. When fully activated, take a portal to the Lost Temple, once home to Atziri. You activate the console to see the map. You must power the temple to modify the structure of the temple by placing rooms. Essentially, you are crafting a full dungeon to explore over time with each visit. Different rooms will have different requirements for leveling up. After running the temple, some of the rooms will be removed, but you continue to rebuild as you activate more remnants to explore and craft the temple. Your overall goal is to reach the end and go back in time and attempt to stop Atziri from destroying the Vaal. Inside the temple, you will gain access to several new crafting mechanics. There are devices that allow you to corrupt your items a second time. You can even craft uniques by replacing one of the mods with a new mod. Importantly, you do not have to conduct this crafting inside the temple. You can instead create a currency token that is usable later for the craft or even tradable. Crafting improvements don't stop there. You can actually now craft yourself by replacing your own limbs. These new limbs will be removed upon character death. The Fate of the Vaal tower difficulty is scalable for late and endgame players. This mechanic also includes a new pinnacle boss, Atziri, in the past. And of course, there will be new uniques that you can find within the temple to include Atziri's Rule. With the crossover from 0.3 to 0.4, Rise of the Abyssal is entering the core game with a few changes. Abyssals will not be included in every map anymore. It will be more like the other endgame mechanics. You will also be able to buff the Abyssal mechanic via the Atlas tree. For the endgame changes, distilling and desecrating of waystones has been removed. Overall intent is to simplify the crafting of waystones. However, tablets can now be crafted, and you can also corrupt your tablets. When running Delirium Fog, the fog has been toned down drastically, and there has been another pass to monster density. Instead of increasing monster density as you scale in difficulty and reward will be scaled. This summarizes the changes to the endgame. There have not been major changes to the way we conduct the endgame via the map or the Atlas passive tree. Performance has been drastically improved, and there's been an overall game balance sweep, which will be detailed in the patch notes. And then, for those who like to support, there are 2 new supporter packs, the Precursor and the Calgurin. Note that these packs come with points, which you can use later for stash upgrades. If you plan to buy stash tabs during the league, this is a great way to do it. Those are the big highlights for the 0.4 release. Hope to see you in the game. Till next time, take care.